The Washington Building Congress is pleased to present the Craftsman Hall of Fame. This honor is in recognition of enduring commitment, exceptional skill, quality craftsmanship, and extraordinary dedication.
My name is Scott Paskovich, and I'm a pile driver, and I've been a pile driver since 1979, so 36 years.
My name's Wayne Radke. I'm a stone and marble mason. Been doing it for 35 years.
My name is Edlin Bush Rose III. I'm an electrician for Power Solutions.
I grew up about 15 miles from here in Prince George's County, Oxon Hill. My dad was a pile driver, and my brothers were pile drivers. Sort of just went with the flow.
How I got into the trade by my brother. When I first got out of school, I started in housework, doing ruble work. We did like a lot of fireplaces and bathrooms. The first company I really worked for was Urban Flooring. We did a few high rises in Baltimore, office buildings mostly, and then I went to work with Hillgardner and did a lot of residential work with them. Fireplaces, powder rooms and stuff.
I originally got into the electrical field and electrical trade through the U.S. military. It kind of blossomed from there. My dad was a plumber by trade. Spent a half a year being a plumber. Didn't like it as much as electrical that I did in the service. And then went to Local 26. That was 1985. Just recently received my 30-year pin.
When you first come out, you're the low end. I cut lagging for years and just worked up into steel, because I'm real good with putting steel in, and then just sort of, they made me a foreman after, 10 years, and just sort of moved up with Clark Foundation, and I've been with them 36 years.
I got in the union bricklayers and allied crafts, Local 1, as an improver and 2-year apprenticeship. Got in 1980, 35 years.
I think probably the worst thing that I ever did is starting out was carrying up MC cable up steps. 250-foot coils, one on each shoulder. And I can't remember the gentleman's name at the time. First name was Walter. He was about my age right now. And he put one on each shoulder and walked up like 8 flights of steps. I was 23, maybe. I wasn't about to let him know that I was dying at the bottom of the stairwell there, but that's what we used to do. Everything was hand carry. If you had a tower or if you had a building you were working in, you hand carried everything. There was no man lifts. A man lift was what you carried. That was a man lift back then.
When you drive around, you see the hole in the ground with the wood and all the beams and everything. That's what we do. But you got to go through the weather, because it rains all the time, and you're going to work in the mud, and you better get used to trucking around in the mud every day.
It's a hard trade on the body. The ruble work, that's probably the hardest. The ruble work is like the housework, the individual stones where you take a hammer and you're beating on the rock all day long. Cement on the wall, put you're fitting them all together like a puzzle. That's probably the hardest. Yeah, it's definitely a hard trade.
I get up about 3:30 in the morning. I got the best alarm clock in the world. And it's my wife. I've been married for over 25 years. I've known her for 30, just as long as I've been an electrician. So, I love you, Peaches.
My brothers were both foremen and then superintendents, and I just followed them. But I've basically learned everything from them. Up until a few years ago, there was 4 superintendents with Clark Foundation, and we were 3 of them.
Washington is the stone capital of the world. There's got to be more stone in this area than any other place, I think, except for maybe Italy. Washington, every building over here has usually got stone in it. One of the favorite projects I've had probably be Katzen, American University. It was an egg. Everything was oval. It was all limestone. All the walls were rounded. It was very challenging. If it comes to stone, we do it.
A couple of years ago, I did George Washington University. It's a residence hall. And it was where you save the facade. It was a 3-sided thing, and I had to put all the steel through windows of the building and roll it around to where we were going. And and setting everything with chain falls and more or less men doing it. I mean, it was a tough job. When it was done and when that building was sitting there, well, it looked good with all that steel.
My brother and I, we have worked for at least 3 or 4 different companies together. Power Solutions, we've been together for about 10 years at Power Solutions right now. According to your records, we both have 10 Craftsmanship awards. So I guess when you call Power Solutions, they decided to give it to whoever was older, and that was older or smarter. We don't know.
It's a hard trade, and it's physically hard, and you know, a lot of people don't get the credit that they should be getting for it.
It makes you feel good that somebody notices what you're doing. Because I mean, there's a lot of jobs out here, and when they pick your job, I mean, it means a lot to the men too. It means a lot to them.
It's about family. I still see my friends every day. I still see guys that I've been with in the trade I've had since apprentices, first, second year apprentices, that now have been with me for 10 years. So it's not so much that I go to work every day, I go to see my friends. I'm gonna work till I'm at least 90.
It's all blueprint work. It's like a jigsaw puzzle that somebody draws up and we put it together. They draw it on paper and we put it together. And hopefully it comes out the same.
It's been a good career, it really has. I got about 6 years left, I'll be 62, so I'll ride off into the sunset.
It's just those jobs that you worked at around the city that you kind of use as a landmark. Each one is an individual painting, and if you're going to do a painting, at least you can do is sign it. And if you put your name on it, you better be proud of it. And that's how I feel. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to be proud of it.
I got 6 more years to go. I like to go out with my tools, working with my tools.
It is with great pride that we present the Washington Building Congress Craftsman Hall of Fame Class of 2016.